KJ, as we were chilling together last night, had a nice meal. How content are you with walking away 0-0 with a point after most people expected us to take an absolute hammering today?
I thought we was going to get hammered today. So the fact that we got a 0-0, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. It's good to go into this game in the form that we was in the way that we was, and look like a team, look like the manager set us up correctly, and execute what he was trying to do to a certain point. But this is where I know you're celebrating your birthday as well as the draw, so I understand. But I'm not. It's not my birthday today. Happy birthday, boss! Like, you're the best. But bruv, this makes me even more annoyed because I'm like, you are able to do this as a team, as a manager. You are able to come together. So the last 17 to 20 games, what have we been doing? Is a madness. But Kobe Mainu, it's Kobe, by the way. It's not Kobe. We keep saying Kobe. It's Kobe. Kobe Mainu is my guy. To have that performance at Anfield at such a young age, absolutely brilliant. And we need to build around this kid. In that midfield needs to be built around him. Bring in more runners, bring in more creativity in front of him, and he will thrive. The ball that he played to Garnacho today, top class. Some of the things he was doing in tight spaces, top class. Now, obviously, we need to get better midfielders ahead of him as well to let him grow as a player. But overall, we need to build this midfield around him, because otherwise, we'll be stuck with McTominay still there and Bruno doing what he's doing. Like, we need this guy to be the main linchpin. But overall, performance is what it was. We got away with 1 point, and we hope that we play well again in the next game. And if this happens for the next 5 games, 10 games, we're playing well and winning as well, then my mood will change when these results come, But until then, I'm treading lightly,
Mate, listen, I understand, and there are parts, Scott McTominay today and a few others I'm not happy with. I also get your point of view. There is part of me that thinks, why the hell didn't we become this, play in a way where we were this hard to break down and beat in multiple other games this season? If we'd have done that, a lot of teams that have run through us wouldn't have been able to do it. And I'm not saying do it for 90 minutes when you're playing Bournemouth at home, but there are times when you need to do it against Bournemouth, times against Forest, times against Wolves, where you've got to be hard to break down. All the top teams do it. This idea that City and Liverpool and Arsenal just attack and they've got no structure out of possession is weird. So I want to see more of it. But we've demonstrated 2 games running that we can do it for the large part. Now it's about adapting from that, becoming more confident to play out from those positions. And I think when you do that with some of our players coming back from injury, we could still end the season okay if we're going to keep this manager, but we've got to play to our means. We can't keep playing in a way that we are not accustomed to or don't have the ability to perform in. It's crazy in my personal opinion. So yeah, overall, I take the draw. Happy with Mainu, as you mentioned, and what he did today, and the centre-back pairing. And I want more of the same. I want us to improve from this. This isn't end of the rainbow stuff, but no, I totally agree with you, mate. And we kind of take.
Can we call out the foolishness? Moving on from Liverpool a little bit, can we call out the foolishness that is the referees?
Yeah, I wanted to speak about this. Yeah, go on, KJ.
I have never seen in my life someone getting sent off, a double yellow sending off for just showing frustration.
Happened last week.
Someone got a double yellow back to back. No.
Back-to-back yellow cards. Yeah.
Ayew did not get back-to-back yellows in the same instance for dissent. He got 1 for dissent and 1 for a foul.
Was it back-to-back?
It was
He got 2
yellow cards for dissent. When have we ever seen this? Now,
Gabriel Martinelli had this 2 years ago.
No, but again, that's also different. Those are 2 different incidents that led to 2 yellows.
Yeah.
Now, you can argue if that's okay or not. Cool. I've never seen this happen before in my life. Now that I know the flipping FA have a clear agenda against certain people, i.e. Arsenal and Arteta, how do I not know that's not a genderless decision? Because some of the calls in that latter stages of the game was looking very suspect. Free kicks to Liverpool that really and truly shouldn't have been there. When Luke Shaw got his yellow card, rightfully so, Hannibal was fouled in the first place. So Luke Shaw lashes out, gets a yellow card. Cool. Marcus Rashford's tackle was fine. You give that, cool. Endo gets a free kick from Hannibal because he pulled his shirt, but he fouled him in the first place before that happened. So these things are, and I'm seeing this. I'm sitting there like, do you want Liverpool to win? Are you thinking about the title race right now?
But
Because we really need to hear what
it happened to both teams either way, because Darwin Núñez got pushed in the back and then Højlund got pushed in the back and he got a foul. It's just the inconsistency that happens. It happens.
It's ridiculous. Now, I'm just being facetious here. There's no conspiracy. There's no let's screw Man United conspiracy going on. Blah blah blah. I'm not.
Well,
there could be.
There could be.
But,
It makes up for the Fergie days. It makes up for the Fergie days, KJ.
No,
Yeah,
it makes up for nothing,
100%,
man.
But KJ, I just want to KJ, where I agree with you is this: that on a serious note in this game, Darwin Núñez, if his elbow on Johnny Evans was any higher, that could have been a red card. In the slow mo, you see we're not looking at the ball. He raises his elbow and he runs into the man, but it's a yellow. He then kicks the ball away. He then sarcastically claps at a linesman, shouts at a linesman, and then continues to moan about the yellow card afterwards. The fact
But
that
what did he get the yellow card for, though, Tel? What did he get the yellow? Because I don't know if he got the yellow card. I don't know if that's the yellow card.
We really need to hear what he said.
I can answer it. So he got the yellow card because the referee points and you kick the ball and he books him. But then afterwards, he's clapping at refs, he's moaning and he's shouting. So that is dissent after already kicking the ball away in frustration.
I agree.
So from my point of view, unless Delot has said, and again, this is where we get transparency. If it turns out Delot called him a disgusting name, then I'll take it back. But for me, it didn't look like he said anything. The fact that you've done this now, but you won't do it, not just to Darwin Núñez in this game, and a red card in 20 minutes into this match could have changed everything. The fact that they will barely do it. We saw Arsenal earlier on this year when Tomiyasu got the 2 yellow cards, one for time wasting and one for a foul. We haven't seen that consistently handed out. Man United, by the way, got a benefit from one reason. Luke Shaw was booked in one of the last games he played in against Chelsea for kicking the ball away, and then he kicked the ball away again later in the game and didn't get sent off. They have to be. Man United have benefited from some of their inconsistencies this year as much as we've been damaged by them. It was an absolutely horrendous refereeing decision, but it won't be spoken about because, quote unquote, it didn't impact the game. And Man United very rarely get defended by the media when there are poor decisions that go against us. But I have never seen that. And people say Martinelli's was the same. No, Martinelli got booked. The first one for not allowing a throw to be taken quickly. And then he got a second one for pulling somebody's shirt. So as far as I'm aware, nobody has been given ever in the history of the Premier League a double yellow card in the same moment for dissent in the same instance. I've seen people get a booking for dissent and then get a straight red. What's his name? He's now left Mitrovic for like striking the referee, touching him, but never has that happened before. And for it to be the first one in the dying moments of one of the biggest games of the season, that's where I look at it and think to myself, I don't think it's a conspiracy against Man United, but can we create a talking point here? Does this give Liverpool one last chance to win the game? And for me, it was just absolutely horrendous refereeing. Horrendous.
You really need to hear what
I agree.
said,
I've never ever seen that for the same incident. I was shocked because I thought maybe he got a yellow card early in the game because he shows dissent. He flings his arms about twice. But we've seen that before. I've never ever seen that given yellow cards. So
it's
I
the fact
agree.
that man, he swung his arm towards the referee. Okay, cool, book him. But then he swung his arm away from the ref. So he wasn't even like directed any kind of hatred towards him. And then he turns around, he sets up ready for the throw-in, and next thing you know, he's getting sent off.
You'll see it again. It's one of these things, and it's Man United that we're suffering with this particular incident, so nobody will care. But you'll see it 100 times a game. You'll see dissent get booked, but you'll still see the player walking off and moaning and being frustrated and everything else. And normally it's that you've been booked and you're still in that moment of dissent. You've already been booked for it. To do it twice, I mean, you could probably send 10 players a game off if you're being absolutely honest. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Big you up for calling it out because I know a lot of United fans aren't now because of the time it happened. But had that happened 20 minutes earlier and possibly the results different, I think you'll be hearing so much more uproar from the United fans. So the fact you're still calling out with only 2 minutes to go, I think it's good.
I think look, once he was sent off, there was 2 minutes left. There's no way we could in my opinion, counter-attack and beat you because we've now got a man less. Would we have beaten you? I don't personally think so, but it stopped us having any chance of winning. But as you say, if that was 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier, I don't think we hold on from that point because we don't really handle adversity very well. Equally, in the same match for Darwin to do what he did, and not again, if that's what you're going to do now, then Darwin should be sent off 20 minutes in, and it's a very, very different game altogether that Man United maybe would have won, and it would have had an impact not just on our season, your season, the title race, and everything surrounding it. And yeah, the referees still need to be called out. The problem is that typically the media only focuses on it when one of their favorite darlings gets impacted, when it's a team when it's a team they dislike, or the result didn't impact anybody. There's just radio silence. They won't even just same as. They've still not said nothing about Crystal Palace's offside goal against us 4 bloody months later. So I'm always going to call it out, whether it impacts us or not, because I think it's important for our game that we do that. I want to go to some of the super chats that have come in here. First one's